5 o'clock on the dot. You're in the spot. You know what you got. You got a bonus. Break on through. Oh yeah, this is going to be a wild one today. With me, your host, Jeffrey K. Clayton, the long-haired weirdo. The unimpeachable president for life. Thank everybody for joining me Tuesday when I talked about punk rock, growing up punk rock in a small town. I'm going to continue that on Tuesday because I got some things I remembered. And it's too bad that that's not happening today, because sitting right over there at the desk is my childhood friend, Patrick Smith. I've known this guy longer than I've known anybody. We were kids together. I saw him jump into a pig pen and chase a pig and grab it by his hind legs. That's how long we've known each other. But he don't like to get in front of the camera, so he said he ain't gonna. I said, but what about the people? He said, fuck the people. So we might get him to comment every once in a while. But, you know, he's got a really good memory. So maybe before they take off today, I will talk to him about some of what I want to talk about on Tuesday. Maybe get my facts a little more straight. But let me see. What we got going on here? I probably won't do a lot of advertising. I will remind you that On the Mark Shirts is back in business. And you're going, well, damn, Jeff Clayton, you just say On the Mark Shirts is back in business. What am I supposed to? Well, you know what? Go to my page. Go to On the Mark Shirts on Facebook or Instagram. That's all you got to do. And then you're there. I can't come to your house and do it for you. I mean, you pay me enough, I probably will. Speaking of which, I'm now doing video greetings. I posted it yesterday, did my first one within 2 hours of posting it. Well, I call up, I'll make a video for whoever you want the video to be for. Wish them happy birthday, go to hell, happy graduation, anything. I don't care. I'll do it all. Happy holiday, Christmas time's coming up, and I got a whole entire Santa Claus outfit. I'll put that thing on, son. But let's see what else we got here. On the Mark, Jeff Clayton live videos. Janice Blythe, her page. You can get autographed pictures. Christmas time coming up. Commander-in-Chief says you ain't going to be able to afford much this year, Hoss. No! We're gonna raise that gas up so high you're going to have to choose. Do I buy Little Johnny, the new ANTiSEEN live in quarantine too, or do I get $85 worth of gas? Choices are going to have to be made, Hoss. Just be sure you make the right one. Now, without further ado, I'm going to give an intro to a man that needs no introduction. But see, you say that, but you still got to do a good intro. Because intros are cool. He is one of the longest running members in ANTiSEEN, probably in the top 4. That's done the most time. We've been friends for over, how many years?
38, 39.
We've been friends for 39 years. Had a few heel turns along the way, but you know what? It all comes out in the wash. Here he is, with the originator, one of the originators of Judas Priest. He's road manager of the Stars. He is currently the road manager of a band named Weezer. Maybe y'all have heard of it. Weezer is not just a character on Our Gang and Little Rascals. There's also a band called that. But here he is, live, giving you no jive, Mr. Thomas Peter O'Keefe the third. Yes, he's Irish. Let's give him a big hand.
Hey, all right.
All right, good to have you here.
How you doing? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. This is the, we did this once before, a couple months ago.
As Judas Bullethead.
That's correct. So now we're doing it as
Jeff and Thom.
As Jeff and Thom. That's exactly right. That Judas Bullethead appearance was really good.
It was fun.
It was
a lot of fun.
But it was also really good. Like,
it was really good. We should release that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the next Judas Bullethead record.
I tell people I was very lucky that I got to play in two amazingly good bands, ANTiSEEN and Judas Bullethead. Keith Richards says the same thing about the Stones and the Expensive Winos. I honestly, I'm not being sarcastic, I'm not trying to be funny, I believe the same thing.
But, you know, Keith Richards always leaves out the New Barbarians.
That's true. Yes, he does.
Which they were a fantastic band,
yeah.
too.
Well, I mean, I was also in Thomas O'Keefe and the Shitbirds. That was a good
band. Yeah, you were
too.
a good band, too.
That was good. Imagine if you had a really good band, but the singer really couldn't sing, but you just went ahead and did it anyway. That's kind of the premise. My favorite moment in Thomas O'Keefe and the Shitbird history was whenever we played at the one of the ANTiSEEN reunion shows, or when we opened one of those. And at the end of the night...
No, we don't do reunion shows.
Not reunion, but anniversary shows. That's correct. It was one of the anniversary shows. I don't remember which one. And Shitbirds played the night before or whatever. Some guy, and Barry Hannibal of ANTiSEEN was the drummer of the Shitbirds. Still is. And some drunk guy walked up to him and goes, like he's wasted drunk at the end of the night. And he walks up to Barry and goes, "Man, I'll tell you something. Your singer sounds just like Bon Scott." That made the whole adventure of the Shitbirds worthwhile to me.
Well, you know, we've been sitting here for 30 minutes discussing what we're going to talk about, and then we get off on tangents.
Right.
And don't. So, let's decide what we should talk about. I tell you what, if there's anything you want to ask Thom while he's here,
yes, for sure.
Ask. You know, we'll see if we catch it. I'm sure Tom's eyesight may be equally as bad as mine.
Yeah, I got to look like this because I got.
But like 2 weeks ago when I did Q&A, man, the questions were coming in like the birds on Alfred Hitchcock movie, you know.
Right.
So if you do got something to ask, but you know, we were saying like, what should we talk about? Politics? No, because if me and Thom talk about politics, believe me, a good portion of the people we know are going to be in fetal position on the floor shivering. So we don't want that. We're all about peace.
Peace, man. What did Mick Jagger say at that riot? Cool it out, dude. Cool it out.
You know what Keith said though?
What?
Hey, if those cats don't stop fighting, right, we ain't gonna play.
Right. Well, they were playing for free, so.
All right. Here's a question for you. What's your favorite album that you were on
with
ANTiSEEN? Maybe you've heard of ANTiSEEN.
I have. I don't. You know what? I would honestly. This is going to sound like a dumb answer, but I would honestly say all of them except for that fucking "Looks Good for Them to Care" single. I loved all the ANTiSEEN records I played on. I don't think that any one is better because I couldn't really take Southern Hostility, for example, and hold it up against Eat More Possum and say which one of those is better, because they're both great, I think. And I thought Hell was really great, and I thought all of the singles that we did were great in those days. I just thought that the Looks Good for Them to Care single, what was the B-side of that? Was it Fuck All Y'all?
The first time we debuted Fuck All Y'all?
Yeah, so the Fuck All Y'all side is really good, but the Looks Good for Them to Care side, it's just, that's one of the few ANTiSEEN songs. There are certainly songs that, and I'm sure you would agree too, like if you look at the set list, there are songs that you enjoy playing a little bit more than others. You know, like I used to love playing Heavy Mud. I thought that was I still love that song.
That was real fun to play.
But Looks Good for Them to Care is the only song that appeared on record that I think didn't stand the test of time, and I don't like it, but I like all the others equal, I think.
You don't have a favorite?
I really don't.
You don't like Here to Ruin Your Groove more than Eat More Possum?
Well, I like Eat More Possum better than that because I played on it. Yeah, but no. I like the ones I played on better. Now, although, I'm being honest, you know what? I think the best Antiscene song since I quit is Come On Now, Come On Now.
Yeah, let the working man rest a little bit.
I love that song. Come on now. My wife will say something to me sometimes. I go, come on now.
Man, I wonder if we can let that be Joe Biden's theme song.
Let the working man.
Come on now. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Yeah, but those are the words of an old man with dementia.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor, but...
Yeah, you're not a doctor. Hashtag.
Right.
Hashtag Thom O'Keefe is no doctor.
I'm not a doctor, but... Okay. So, it cost me $75 to fill my car up with gas. So,
but at least no mean tweets.
No mean tweets.
That's what you got to be thankful for.
I'm thankful for that. What is your favorite Antiscene record that you played on?
Mine?
Yeah. Or that you obviously sang on.
Man, I still think my favorite, when it's all said and done, was Here to Ruin Your Groove.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
But when you put the ones that come after it, I mean, they're bumping right up against it. Eat More Possum is one of those. I mean, Eat More Possum...
where was that one recorded? I always get mixed up. I know Southern Hostility was recorded in your mom's basement. Where was Eat More Possum recorded?
In Mooresville.
In Mooresville at the Lake Norman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, at that guy's house.
At Jeff Murdoch's
right.
Peninsula Studios.
Peninsula Studios at Mech Neck.
Yeah.
Which is no longer Mech Neck anymore because they fixed that.
Yeah, it's all
that geographic problem.
All been rearranged.
Yeah, Eat More. I mean, I think that. I mean, Eat More Possum stands up pretty great. Oh yeah, Eat More Possum stands up pretty good. I think because it just has a lot of the set list comes from that. You know, like
we still play today.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
comes from Eat
More Possum. So.
See, I've kind of delegated certain duties to other band members, just so I'm not doing every damn thing.
Right.
I would be at some points, and I just didn't want here at the end to be doing everything.
Right, I got you.
And so I let. So Mad Brother Ward pretty much makes the set list. I'll have suggestions that I want to do.
Right.
But sometime he will really. I remember there was we've been in that lineup now for what, 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah.
What I don't know what. I guess we've had that lineup since 14.
Right, since the drummer. What was the previous drummer's name?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that guy. But yes, when that guy quit, it's been the same ever since.
Right, but there was a time when Russ was really making the set list real Southern Hostility heavy.
Right.
And we played a lot off of that. We never did, but one of the songs I really liked on Southern Hostility that we never, I think we may have played it back then a lot, was Ivory Towers.
Yeah, that was another one.
That was a very Black Flag influenced tune.
I would have to look on that record and see which songs, because sometimes I get those, whichever ones are on Southern Hostility or Eat More Possum mixed up. But I would honestly say that, or I honestly think that during that time period, essentially any of those songs on Southern Hostility we would have played live.
Yeah,
were there any that we didn't?
I don't think there was ever, matter of fact, on those two records, Southern Hostility and Eat More Possum, I think we more than likely played every single song on both of those records live.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep. We played. I listened to Haunted House the other day, the original Haunted House with Throgmorton on it, and that was just, I blasted it in my office the other day listening to it. I hadn't listened to it in years, and I was surprised at how great I thought it was. I mean, and of course Doug was such a machine, you know what I mean?
Man, when he was in his peak,
there's just nobody could touch him. Yeah, I think almost anyone would agree that he was almost this like freak of nature sort of drummer, you know. He just really, and that was him at his peak, I think, you know. He was just, so if you go back and listen to it, it's, because you're used to hearing it the way you would play it today. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
sounds that version of it is pretty over the top. We did that somewhere else though. We did that somewhere on Central Avenue.
Novus,
Yeah,
Nova Studios,
Yep.
but we had two singles very close together in that time period. One was "Cause I Love You" and
Two-Headed Dog.
"Two-Headed Dog," which we recorded in the original Novus off South Boulevard.
Right, I remember that.
Then they moved somewhere. I want to say it was off of Woodlawn somewhere.
Right,
I could be completely wrong, but it was one of them industrial parks.
right. And that's
That's where we
did.
recorded Walking Dead and Haunted House.
Right.
Same guy
Yeah.
through a Doug Throgmorton connection.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You know, there's a U2 song that sounds very similar to Walking Dead that came out after Walking Dead. Walking Dead's the older of the two songs. There's a U2 song that sounds so similar to Walking Dead. It's almost like where the hell? I'm not suggesting that
Maybe
U2 stole it. But
Maybe I can see about getting some of that Bongo music.
there you go. Yeah, he has a little bit saved up, I think.
Yeah, probably.
That fucker. Actually, I saw them. You know what? I saw them in Nashville a couple of years ago, and it was on whatever their newer record was. And it was an amazing show. They had this giant, video. Well, there was no stage really, and there was this giant video wall contraption in the middle of the arena, and the whole show happened in that. They were all over the place. The production of it was astounding. Like one of the most well done arena shows I've almost ever seen. And the set list fucking sucked. They didn't play. They skipped they had just done a tour basically the year or two before. All played Joshua Tree all the way through, and then this year they just didn't play any of nothing. You're just like, really? And it was over, and the show was done, and I was like, wow, they didn't play With or Without You. They didn't play The Streets Have No Name. They didn't. I mean, really? Are you sure about? So, I hate it. We all hate it when bands do that.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, your band, just like every other band. I mean, you know, I saw Cheap Trick a couple weeks ago in Vegas. Weezer, we did a show with them at the iHeart Music Radio Festival, and they played Surrender, Dream Police, I Want You to Want Me, and one new song, you know. And you know how it is. You have a handful of ANTiSEEN songs that you have to play in every show, just like those guys have to play a certain songs in their set, just like the Rolling Stones played Satisfaction when I saw them.
There was once a discussion about not ending the show with "Fuck All Y'all." And
Right.
It's just like, no. That when people hear that, they know it's over.
It's kind of like when you go see AC/DC and they play For Those About to Rock. Like, you know that's the end. You know what I mean? When Cheap Trick plays Good Night Now, when Kiss plays Rock and Roll All Night, I mean, all the greats do that, so that's what you're supposed to do. Because that's really all we're doing anyway, is just kind of doing what they did, right?
Just copying everything.
Copying everything from them. So, yeah. I mean, how many ANTiSEEN songs do you think you have to put in the set to keep everybody from being pissed?
I would think it was a lot more than we actually do.
Right.
Like some shows we don't play Queen City Stomp.
Right.
And it's very rare we play NC Royalty. I mean, like there was a time when the ones were Queen City Stomp, NC Royalty, what?
Nothing's Cool.
Destructo Rock, Nothing's Cool, and Fuck All Y'all Again.
Fuck All Y'all Again.
And,
Which, ironically, and maybe Up All Night, or what is the other, Hippie Punk? What are the 4 songs on the Ajax single? Up All Night, Hippie Punk. What's the?
Wish I Killed You When I
Wish
Had
I-
a Chance,
I
and
love
I
that
Don't
song.
Need You.
I Don't Need You, yeah. I played I Don't Need You in the Shitbirds.
We
I always
played
love
that. We
song.
played that.
That's a great
in recent
song.
years.
Yeah. That's a Wreck song, isn't it? Or didn't that song have some?
Yeah, I think it
album?
was.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was a pre-ANTiSEEN song.
The Wreck was a band I had in New London in Albemarle, almost simultaneous as Kamikaze that I talked about on Tuesday. And that song "I Don't Need You" came from the Wreck.
That's a great song. It's I played that in the Shitbirds. I love that song, and I think I played Small Town Schizo. I love that song. In fact, I listened to the version of Thomas O'Keefe and the Shitbirds playing Small Town Schizo, I mean, it's really good. I mean, Todd Claude is shredding, and it's really good. And there's this really funny part at the end where it goes, da-da-da-da-da, and then Joe Young runs out on stage, and this is on the video. You can watch this on YouTube. He goes, "Hey, wait a minute. That motherfucker Thom O'Keefe never played bass like that when he was in my band. That's for nothing." It's so funny, and somehow this person on YouTube like magically got this moment. I'll send you a link to it.
I'd like to see that.
It's pretty fucking funny, you know.
What show was that? One of the Tremont shows?
Yeah, it was a Tremont show, yeah. Brad Mullins sang that song, and we played it. Todd Claude shredded it up a little bit, but Todd Claude's in heaven now. But yeah, it was funny. Joe Yo comes out there and goes, "Hey, wait a minute!" So there you go.
Yeah, he saw the Judas Bullethead show,
Right.
and he was a little inebriated.
Yeah.
And afterwards, he didn't say it to me, but he said it to somebody. I don't remember who. But he's like, "Man, Clayton saved all the damn really good songs for Judas Bullethead." There's no fucking way you'd have played some of this shit.
Well, I would say it's enough to make you say, "Damn!" Is one of your. I would lump that in one of your top 5. That's a Judas Bullethead song from the second record, and I would lump that in the top 5 of all your compositions to date. That's just a classic. You know, I don't know how. Very simple, but very. It has such an amazing groove to it. It's pretty great.
Pat, do you feel that it is enough to make you say "damn"?
Yep,
Pat agrees.
He agrees. It's amazing that we have Pat Smith here with us because he really is the entry point that brought me, and I have to say also Ace Davis, into the whole thing, because we met Pat at a Journey concert in 1981, 40 years ago last month. And he's the one who introduced us to Jeff, and our friend Dana Davis was with us at that concert. And we were just going to every concert that you could go to back in those days. And that's kind of the connection point. Really, Pat Smith is the connection point between bringing me into this thing, Freddie Hutch into this thing, Ace Davis, Dana Ace Davis, who was in ANTiSEEN before me, and probably a handful of other people I'm not thinking of, you know. But it's because you and Pat grew up right down the street from each other. So when Pat would come to Charlotte to go to a concert, he would go see Jeff, who was living over in Central Avenue in a one-bedroom apartment.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second. I want to say hi. Hello, Janice. Thanks for coming and watching today. What was going on with that dynamic is I had a little efficiency apartment very close to the Charlotte Coliseum.
Right.
And these guys would go. They went. Man, Pat was at every concert that ever happened there.
That's right.
Some that I should have been at.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Like, Pat saw Aerosmith on the Night of the Ruts tour.
Right.
Back in Black, AC/DC. You know, but me.
Heaven and Hell Dia, Black
But
Sabbath.
see, I'm Mr. Punk Rock. I can't go to these. Like, I ain't going to them
But
damn.
that period of time that
Yeah.
you were like that guy who would like, I listen to this so I don't listen to that. That was a short.
Remember what
period
I
of time.
said Tuesday about there was a time when you drew a line in the sand and it was like, this is us and that's them? Well, see, Pat was bringing these guys around, and I kind of saw it as Pat bringing a bunch of them
I was one of them.
here, you know? But we quickly became friends, especially me and this one. Ace too, but Ace ended up living with me, and that quickly deteriorated.
That'll do it to you.
That'll do it. But you know,
Gee, I don't understand that.
we discovered a lot of stuff together, and the thing that got me going to see stuff in like 1982,
Probably
3,
2 or
4,
3, yeah.
maybe is these guys said, "Look, man, we're going to see Judas Priest, and we want you to go."
You gotta go.
And
Right?
they're like,
That's
"We
it,
will
man.
buy your
Because
ticket."
You loved Unleashed in the East.
Yeah.
Right? Who doesn't? Right.
Mhm.
So, of course, and this is before Turbo came out, so, you know, you had a legitimate argument there. But we wanted you to go see, and I remember you saying, "I don't want to go see Rob and the boys." And then we went to go see, we dragged you out to see them, and they were good, right?
Yeah, it was
Was it Painkiller?
Defenders of the Faith.
Oh, Defenders of the Faith, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And man, I had a great time. And then so a few months later, I go with them to see Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Then we go see Dio. And I pretty much went and seen Kiss every time. I've seen Kiss probably more than any band except for Jason and the Scorchers and Hank 3.
Right.
And so...
Yeah, you don't, and and at the same time that he was doing that, I was not, I was 100% that concert dude. So at the same time that he was realizing that those Judas Priest concerts weren't terrible to go to, that was making me understand the Ramones and Black Flag and a lot of those bands. Still to this day, my favorite punk rock bands are the Ramones and Black Flag. I don't care for... I work with a lot of people from California, and a lot of them have that Social D thing, and I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna slick my hair back so I look like some dude in the army from the 50s and put my pack of cigarettes here and drink a Pabst Blue Ribbon. I don't get it. I'm sorry. There, see, the numbers are dropping. Oops. All right, let's talk about Mike. Okay, so my point was, though, or my point is that we were, as he was learning, hey, that maybe it's not terrible to go see, I can go see Black Flag and love it, and I can go see Judas Priest and love it. I was also
But see, yeah, I was taking these guys to the Milestone.
Right, and
to Strider's Concert Hall.
We went to
we'd go see
Black
Flag.
Flag. Who did we see? Who was with them the first time we saw them?
Where's the first time you saw them? At Strider's?
Yes, tell Tom.
That was Nig
tell
Heist.
You why you don't like Rancid. Oh, that's easy.
It was Nig Heist.
Meat Puppets.
Meat Puppets.
Black Flag.
And Saccharine Trust.
Saccharine Trust, yeah. And then we saw Black Flag on My War, and we saw him on Slip It In. Mm. I hate Rancid.
I didn't see him on Slip It In.
Oh, really? But we went, though. Did you see him on Slip It In? You saw Black Flag
no,
twice down there?
You may have seen him on Slip It In.
Right.
Wait a minute.
When did we go down there and meet Pat Todd?
We saw him.
No, that's different. That was
we saw Black Flag on Slip It In when they did play Columbia, but the Charlotte show is the one that Joe Young may or may not have
called the Charlotte Fire Department.
The Charlotte Fire Department and shut it down.
Rumor has it.
I mean, yes, we were at war with Bill Flowers and the Milestone at the time, but Janice says stop blocking my face. Okay.
I hate Rancid because I hate that punk rock where the guy sings in an accent of not where he's from. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're from England...
Like this guy's from Chicago, but he sings like he's from Baden?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or the guy that sings like he's from England, but really he's from, Orange County, California, or whatever. I just don't like Rancid. I just don't think I don't get it.
Man,
I don't think they're that... I really, you know what it is? I don't think they're that great. See, in the reality of this, you know what? I'd rather listen to fucking Taylor Swift than listen to 90% of the music that comes out of my current hometown of Nashville. But you know what? Some of her songs are really good. Maybe it's not the coolest thing in the world to say, but it's true. And, the reason you like bands is because their songs are good, right? Rancid doesn't have that many good songs. It sounds just like phony baloney, fake, I'm from California, but I'm singing like I think I'm in England.
Brad says, so what about Dead Kennedys with Jello? Man, I love the Dead Kennedys with Jello. I talked about that before. Subject matter wise, maybe I don't agree. Even back then, I didn't agree with everything they said. I sure as hell don't now, but I still love the music.
Was he complaining? Did he like Ronald Reagan or did he hate him?
Oh, he hated him.
Oh, what a mistake.
But I saw the Dead Kennedys with Jello and East Bay Ray and Klaus Fluoride and DJ Pellegro. I saw that lineup several times, and man, they were amazing. He came to see us
play in San Francisco. Right?
Yeah, and see, Jello would always come see us in San Francisco.
We were in San Francisco just a day or two before the LA riots, and Jello walked up to me and said, "You got any of those Judas Bullethead records under your bed somewhere you could sell me?" I was like, "No, I didn't save as many of them as I should," but that was before eBay. But yeah, I don't, if a band has good songs, I like them. If a band doesn't have good songs, I don't like them. That's kind of. I think the reason I don't like Rancid is the same reason I don't like the other band, Social Distortion. It
Well,
just
man,
seems kind of phony. To
You know, the thing that a lot of my audience takes me to task for a lot is the fact that I don't like the Misfits.
Right.
I mean, I just got burnt out on that. I got burnt out bad.
I mean, they have good moments, like when he goes, "You ain't no goddamn son of a bitch. You better think about it, baby, baby." I mean, that's pretty good,
If
right?
anybody says that,
Everyone loves that. That's pretty good. I don't know about the
But,
rest of that. I mean, he's a douche. I mean, you see that video where that guy punched him in the face?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But
I had a friend that worked with him once, and it was just terrible, they said. But
I mean, you know, I really don't like to get on here and slam other bands and stuff because, I mean, it's like I said before. There's only two kinds of music: music you like and music you don't like, and you could probably add music you haven't heard yet.
right.
So there's three categories.
Now, I can understand, like for example, I have a theory that if you go see somebody that's very successful, like let's say, for example, you went to go see Britney Spears 3 or 4 nights in a row. At the end of the 3 or 4 nights, you might not be a fan of hers, but you would at least understand why it is what it is. You know what I mean? Why
that's a theory I have.
Right.
That I say any band in the world, every band in the world has at least one song that you like.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe you're never going to give that band that chance
Right.
to prove that theory. But like, you know how much I really don't like Boston.
Right. Yeah.
But I guarantee you, if I sat and listened, especially to the first two, matter of fact, I remember there was songs on Don't Look Back that I did like.
Was it?
No. I know what you're going to do. And it was not that one.
Was it? Oh, are you ready tonight?
No,
Come on,
it
let's
wasn't.
get down.
I
met that guy
actually
once.
think it was the song Don't Look Back. I think
really?
I like
that
that
sounds
one.
good. I met Brad Delp once, God rest his soul, and he was a super. Me and Ace met him at a Boston concert in Chapel Hill. Me and Pat Smith met him.
Was it a cookout?
No, it was at the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and they were playing. It was on their 3rd album tour, and we talked to him, and he was super fucking nice, like the nicest, sweetest guy. It breaks my heart because he was really fucked up and he killed himself, but he was a very, very nice guy, and I have friends that have worked with him, and they all thought the same thing. So I hate when I hear that story, but. I also, one of my favorite stories is this guy was having a terrible day at work one day, and he gets in this car.
No.
You don't want to tell that story?
No, I'll tell it.
Okay, go ahead.
But all right, it wasn't a day at work. It was at the hospital.
Right.
My wife had been bedridden for 4 months, and it's Sunday, and there's supposed to be a baby shower at the hospital.
Right.
Well, the baby shower starts at like noon. It's 10:45. I've not heard from anyone. This was day before cell phone. Now you couldn't just go,
Right.
hey. I mean, you know, someone had to be at home to answer the damn phone. And I don't know anything. I'm like, well, damn, we're supposed to have a baby shower in about an hour and a half. And it's like, I don't know nothing. I said, well, I guess I got to go get some drinks and some potato chips and some plates and, you know, all this.
The clock's
and
ticking.
so I'm, you know, I'm kind of really stressed out now. And I get in my car, man. My cassette deck laid in the
hole.
in the hole.
Right.
It was
yeah.
not bolted
Like
in.
The previous radio had been taken out, and the current radio
put a
was
new
just
one in.
sitting in there.
And there was a stereo speaker in between the two seats, and we wedged it in there, and it was wedged in so tight that it held the new cassette player in
place. Right.
Why didn't we just find somebody to bolt the thing in?
Busy.
Yeah, had too much going on. But what would happen was sometime, because it was tilted and loose, and I would cut the power button on and it wouldn't come on. And I'd have to hit it again. And hit it again. And eventually it would just catch. And bam.
It was on.
Music on the radio. Well, this particular morning, I'm pulling out of the parking deck of Presbyterian Hospital, and I'm going to a grocery store somewhere. I don't know, but you know, it's like I'm thinking, what all I gotta
stressed
get?
out,
And I'm
man,
driving,
in
you
a
know, I'm
hurry.
pushing that button, nothing comes on, and I'm going, so all right, plates, spoons and forks, and where the hell is it going to be anyway? I don't even know where I'm supposed to take this stuff when I get it. Push the button. Damn it won't come on. Now I'm just like, I'm at a stoplight. And I'm just like hitting it. Bam! Bam! Get on, you son of a bitch! And it finally cuts on. And you know what I hear
The sweet
out of my
voice
speaker? We were just another band out of Boston. I grabbed the cassette deck, jerked it out of the hole. All the wires came out. I rolled the window down, and I threw it out the window.
Throw it out on the Hawthorne Avenue. It's probably still there.
And somebody was jogging and just kind of watched, like, as this thing's going. I see it going down the street going. And I'm just like, you know, I get back and I tell my wife, by the way, I threw the cassette deck out the window. And
it was loose anyway.
But the thing was, man, everybody was already there. They had got a room and set everything up. I didn't need anything that I went and bought. So
you still have a bunch of extra forks and spoons in the closet somewhere.
Right. And so but I guess I got that great story to tell.
Well, he was a nice guy, even though that record could be annoying at times. It was also my first concert, so I was happy to go see them at the Old Coliseum in January of 1979. Ooh.
Janice just said her favorite song was "Ruby, Get Back to the Hills" by ANTiSEEN. You weren't the original of that.
No, Pete.
This is the lineup.
That's the lineup that did that.
That did Ruby.
Yep.
That's Joe Young, me being laughing and jovial, Doug Throgmorton, who we just talked about, some amazing drumming on that EP royalty record.
That's right.
And Marlon Cherry, amazing bass player going on there. Oh no, Bubbles just hit the thing. Don't worry, Dina Saws, Bubbles is fine. Oh.
Yes, he was an amazing bass player. On that record. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, there are bands that you don't like, but you know, and there are, you know, sometimes you have people that you're related to. Maybe your wife likes some music that you don't like, or vice versa. You know, my wife listens to some music that I really don't care for. So I try really hard not to say, "Oh, that sucks," but yeah. I mean, this is what we're talking about because this is what we've created our life around, all this crap. You know what I mean? I've done the same thing. And so it's the thing we know the most about. If we were talking about, you know, sports or something, we wouldn't even know what to talk about. You know what I mean?
And then we tell the same stories all the time. Like we tell each other the same stories.
Well, you just remember them. You know what I mean? So they just kind of keep... they just keep going. So when you have people that you've been hanging out with for 40 years, like him and that one over there, you know, you end up remembering a lot of the stories.
You know, Pat can remember every poster I had on my wall in the 70s. We were just talking about that a while ago. He goes, "Man, I've been looking for that Steve Tyler and Joe Perry poster you had." And right when he said it, bam, I remember exactly what he was talking about. And he found some examples. He said, "Is that it?" And I was like, "No." And then he found the one. You know, there's one-stop posters that had the little red outline around everything. I got an Aerosmith and a Led Zeppelin. I remember I used to broadcast from over there, which I probably will again sometime soon. But I got those in the background. I also got a Kiss one-stop. These are all, you know, actually from the 70s. And God, we used to have everything. It's like we used to do poster rotation.
Now, where did you buy those posters?
Most of the posters we got from Charlotte.
Right. Now, what did you do? Go to the record store and you had to...
We would go to either Record Bar, Grapevine.
Right. That makes sense.
Or I guess we get some in Spencer's too, huh?
Yeah.
Was it called Spencer's then? Yeah.
You bought a bus when you go to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach,
Yeah,
man.
Myrtle Beach, you going. You know, Pat Smith was the very first person I ever knew that owned a VCR. He actually had a VCR that was about
When no one
this
else did.
big, this big, this thick. It weighed about 80 pounds, and it was like a top loader. You put the tape in, and it would
You would
drop
bring it to
down.
my house, wouldn't you? To my apartment, and we'd hook up a little black and white TV to it.
Yeah, that
What
thing-
did we watch, man? Well, we probably had like what four videos.
It had like one cassette that had like,
the
yeah.
Black Sabbath video with Paranoid continuing.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. And there was some a lot of that times you'd take that VCR and you'd record like Night Flight or Don Kirshner's rock concert or somebody like that, because I mean it was before YouTube and all that. Now you can just watch all that stuff, but you had to save that stuff. Like I remember, I mean, when Kiss Meets the Phantom was coming on TV, I told my parents like a month before, okay, on Thursday, November 12th, or whatever day it was, I have to watch TV from 9 to 11 or whatever it was, because there was no way to record it. There was no, if you missed it, you missed it, you know, so.
Man, what did you really think about that the first time you saw it?
I really loved it because I loved Kiss so much, and I had not seen them live yet, so.
So that was the first time you'd seen them move.
Yeah, it was the first time I seen them talk, the first time I seen them do anything. And then I remember I saw them on Dynasty, and then in Charlotte in like June of '79 or April, May, June, whatever it was. But then about 2 or 3 months later, in the fall of '79, I saw them on 2020. Remember that?
Mhm.
That was the first time I ever heard them speak.
Rebecca says that
Mm-hmm.
is what had her parents march straight to her room,
And take the
take
posters
all
down.
her shit,
Yeah.
and threw it in the fireplace.
It's funny. It's a good article, and they're just talking. It's basically they're just trying to go. Oh, these guys are. It's like a class envy thing. Oh, these guys are so rich. You know. So what's? I mean, of course they are. They sold us all records and posters and dolls and lunchboxes. So of course they're rich. But yeah, they. It was definitely made out to like make them look bad. It was like, parents beware, your kids might be listening to Kiss, you know, which is of course it's insanely tame by today's standards. They may grow up and listen to they listen to Kiss, and now they're listening to G.G. Allen. Oh, I've never heard of G.G. Allen. So, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Kiss, get away. You know?
Tonight, Gigi Allen on 2020.
Right.
Well, there'd have been some trips to the fireplace in, that's for sure.
Me and Pat Smith had lunch today at Loopy's, and there was a couple, like a young 20-something couple, sitting at this table eating, and I said to Pat, I said, that girl has no idea that she's sitting in the same booth that G.G. Allen sat in once. It's so funny.
Oh, you were at Loopy's, you
Yeah,
said.
exactly.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
good.
I don't think the employees at Loopy's knew that Gigi
I
Allen
know.
was
I
in
don't.
there.
I think you might be right. They were. I saw her daughter. I saw Larkin there.
Larkin, yeah, she runs it now.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yep. But, yeah, we didn't, you know, I remember, you know, like waiting for Kiss records to come out and like, oh, the new Kiss record's coming out next week. I'm going to go buy it, blah, blah, blah. You know, you just had to wait, and it was just really, you had to wait to buy concert tickets, and then you had to wait in line in Charlotte, where we all went to our first shows. It was general admission, so you had to go buy the tickets. Then you had to wait in line all day long to get in, you know. So there was oftentimes, if the shows were like Journey or some of these other shows we went to, where it was like a really hot ticket, that you had to go camp out to buy the tickets, or at least get in line really early to do it. So I mean,
Nope.
it wasn't as much different back then, I think.
Well, listen, it's about time for us to wrap up, but I'm going to give the fans, the people, I'm going to give them what they want.
Okay.
Okay?
What is that?
Now, you just sit right here. I'll be
Okay.
back. Say something to them to keep them entertained for a matter of seconds.
Open the fucking doors. Andy Miller. Hello, brother. How are you doing? Shows are there looking at flyers. Uh-oh. Here he comes. What you got there?
All right, look here.
You're not getting...
Axe. There's a pick in it.
All right.
All right, we're going to do... It's time for us to sign off. I appreciate everybody showing up on a Thursday, unannounced until Tuesday. But thanks for coming. And we will now... These guitars have been sitting in this room for months and months and months. We have not tuned them or anything. We don't care. It's rock and roll. Is that how you play Shopping Mall?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do a rendition of Shopping Mall by Judas Bullethead. And then we're going to say goodnight. You ready?
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
She went to the shopping mall to buy a new wave skirt. Don't let her give you a blowjob, 'cause the next day it will hurt. Woo!
Thank you very
We
much.
still got it.
Yeah.